everyone. Welcome to Born to Shine, being brought to you by Genius Kids. I'm Renu Dillon, and I'd like to begin by first thanking Radio Zindagi for always giving up this platform to bring amazing and interesting shows to you. Born to Shine is basically an opportunity to spotlight all the young talent from ages 5 to 25. And we don't want to just talk about academics. We want to talk about all the other things that these young kids can do other than just math and reading and history and all the other good stuff that comes with it. So we're talking about music, maybe they know how to program things, maybe they've developed or started their own company, a nonprofit, whatever it may be. If they're shining, we want to know who they are. And this week we bring you some more talent, just a very brilliant young lady. And if you all remembered from last week's show, I had a younger brother who entertained us with his humor and of course his tabla playing and all his natural chatting. And now of course we have with us Chotima, which is his sister, and her name is Samvi Ranka, and she's going to be telling us why her dad feels that we should have spotlighted her and why we're here today. So a big warm welcome to you, Samvi, and of course to Daddy Sunil.
Yeah, thank you so much. I'm really excited to be here. So thank you so much.
No, you're welcome. So I got this even when we were doing our awards last year. And by the way, we will be bringing that back. Thanks to COVID, we had to cancel it. So we're going to be bringing that award back. And I know you're going to be getting that because you were selected last year for the Young Female Entrepreneur Award. But your dad had written in and told me all about you. And you have so many things that you do. So let's begin by talking about your music, first of all. Tell me a little bit about when did you discover, your brother discovered the tabla. When did you discover that you had a voice to sing?
So, I don't really remember this. This is actually, I think, 6 to 8 years ago when I was around, I just started, developing my passion, trying to find out what I like. And I believe I was singing, and my mom and my dad, they recognized that, oh, wow, her voice isn't that bad. So, from there, they were like, oh, let's enroll her in class. So I started doing Hindustani classical singing. And, ever since then, I think it's been about 5-6 years now since I've been doing Hindustani classical singing. And it's been a really great experience.
So how old are you?
I'm 14 years old right now.
Okay, so you started taking lessons when you were about 7 or 8 years old?
Yes, that sounds about right.
Great. Dad, is that when she started singing or was it earlier at preschool?
It was a little bit earlier. She started, I believe, just before she started her first grade. So, right after her first grade, so about 6 years old. Maybe it was too young for her. That's why she does not remember. In music, right there, she's following a path of Akhil Bharatiya Gandharv Vidyalaya. So there are 7 exams. So once you graduate 7th exam, you become Sangeet Visharad, which is like a bachelor's in music.
Okay.
And she's already through the 4th exam, and we are preparing her for the 5th, 6th, and 7th.
Wonderful.
So maybe, I don't know how many more years it will take, but at some point in time, that's the path, she's been following starting, I believe, year 6.
So what made you think, when you hear, I hear children sing every single day in my school, right? And they're so little. How did you just immediately jump to saying, well, I want to train her for music, Hindustani classical? Or did you think, let me check her out and see whether she's really this serious?
I think it was just a conviction power. Like when my wife brought it up saying that she has a really good voice, and I was very convinced that, yes, this is how it's going to be. Okay. And we just looked for a guru. We started looking for people, and then we're very determined, because the good or bad part was there was no past experience in history, and we had no friends who were going through this experience. So we had to just start from wherever. My brother's daughter is a very good singer as well. She's in her final year of college, and we saw her singing. So there was a level of confidence that, yes, we might be able to pick it. She might have picked up something from her as well. So okay. That's how it started.
Or maybe it runs in the family. It could be genetic, right? You never know.
My sister also has a pretty good voice, but she never got trained. When we were in India, right, the resources were limited. So there was not many chances where we could pick on some of the talent. So yeah, maybe you're right.
So Samvi, so let me ask you a question. I mean, when you're taking classical training, you know, it's not like, you know, pop music where you can hop around. Classical Hindu, I mean, Hindi classical music, at least I know, I've had my kids join that when they were little, is very serious. And the gurus are very serious about your homework and your practice.
Yeah.
As a young girl, didn't you feel when other friends were, you know, goofing around after school, you had to go for singing lessons? I mean, didn't you feel sometimes, darn it, you know, maybe I can be doing, you know, going to the mall or something?
Well, I'm actually really glad that you asked that because, you know, initially when they put me in singing class, this was more of like their instinct, like, oh, she has like somewhat of a good voice, let's put her in singing. Initially, I was like, oh, I don't want to do this. And, you know, whenever my parents used to like, you know, push me, they were like, you know, why don't you like sing in this place? Why don't you sing here? You know, it'll like help your voice, it'll help develop your voice. I was like, no, 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 please, please don't make me sing here, please. I really don't want to. But they would, you know, constantly push me, tell me that, you know, I can do it. You know, I have this, you know, I have a voice, why don't you actually like, you know, use it? So I was like, oh, eventually as I kept on going, I was like, you know what, my parents are right. Like, you know, why do I keep on, you know, resisting against this? Why don't I actually, you know, take up the opportunities I have? And, you know, that's how, you know, I got singing. Yes, initially I was like, oh, I have to go to singing class right now. All my friends are going and, you know, doing fun stuff. But, you know, then later on I realized, you know, my parents just wanted the best for me. So they kept on pushing me for a good reason. And I think I'm really glad that they did.
So this leads me to the next thing. I know you're also a very well-known public speaker, and you've been at TedX and been a speaker over there. Do you think taking all those singing lessons has developed your voice, your confidence, your ability to be a leader? I mean, I watched your talk. It was phenomenal for a young girl like you. You know, you were natural on stage. It was just, you know, like you were speaking at the, you know, the tip of your fingers. So do you think that contributed to that, or did you also take lessons in public speaking?
I have not taken lessons in public speaking, but I think singing definitely did because I started going into competitions a few years later. So, you know, I think my dad said I started at 6 years old. I started going to competitions at around 8 to 9 years old. And I think I kind of, you know, being on stage, you know, even, you know, winning, losing wasn't really what mattered. You know, what mattered was, you know, I was up there, I was singing, I was, you know, giving it my all. And I think that did definitely help with, you know, my public speaking and speaking in front of a big audience. And I think that obviously, I think that definitely did help. And, you know, I was able to speak it. I got a wonderful opportunity to speak at a TEDx. And I think my dad, he has really great public speaking skills. And I think I was really like fortunate to get that part from him. And my mom too, I think she speaks pretty well. So I was really fortunate to get, you know, that from both of them.
Great, great. So what did you talk about at TEDx? Because I think that's your other talent that you've got. You've got something, you're an entrepreneur and you've started your own company. So tell us about that.
Yeah, so in my TEDx, I talked about Generation Z making an impact. So I created a Funtastic Box, which is a box for special needs children. And when I got the opportunity to speak, you know, a TEDx presentation, a TEDx talk, I wanted it to focus around what I was doing, the cause that I was going for, and Generation Z, you know, me being part of Generation Z, you know, as young people, we have a voice, and, you know, I wanted to be able to use it for good, you know, not just, you know, helping special needs, but, you know, us speaking up, using our voice for better things, accomplishing better things, you know, using the learnings that we got from our past generations and, you know, applying it to do better things, make the world a better place. So I talked about, you know, Generation Z obviously making an impact on the world. And in there, I was able to talk about my, the box and how we can help, you know, the special needs community. So once again, I got that wonderful opportunity to do that and actually be able to speak up about that.
So why did you pick special needs?
So actually, we have a couple friends in our fun circle, and they have children who are special needs. And I'm actually very close to one of the families, and I think that topic really touched my heart because I spent a lot of time with her, and, you know, I was like, you know, I want to help out with this. And that I kind of took on that topic, and it went from there, and I was able to, you know, research more about it, learn more about it. What is this? Why is this? Like, what can I do to help this? So I think that's where my whole you know, my passion to learn more and do more for that, you know, special needs area.
So let me ask you a question. What comes in this box? Like if a parent who's watching our show today has a child with special needs, is it catered to only, for example, autism or ADD, ADHD, or is it also physical needs? I mean, you know, what exactly does this box have?
So my box, so just, to give you a little bit of general information, my box is a subscription box, and it basically has, so, you were saying about all those different things, OTT and, autism in general.
Mm-hmm.
I tried to make the box to cover, every sort of little aspect of it, so for if someone has, a visual impairment, the outside of the box is very bright, all the colors inside, all the toys inside, they're all very bright. So it's, easily to see. Or if someone, they have trouble, being able to process things in their mind, I have little toys in here that, they say things out loud so they can hear what's happening. And so just something to cover every little aspect of it. Inside there's sensory toys, communicative toys, things when you feel they're like rough to the touch or smooth to the touch. And they even have flashcards for DIYs that parents can make at home using the supplies they already have at home, and, use those for, cheaper items.
So when you say subscription, do you send something every month, or is it once a year, once every 6 months? How does it work?
So it's up to the parent, they can choose whether they want it monthly, yearly, or they can do, every 3 months, and they could cancel the subscription at one point. So, whatever, it's up to the parents to make it more easier for them. So they don't have to, they're not only, obliged to just one option.
So where is your office or your supply room where you're making this box? I mean, who does it with you? Do you put your brother to work?
No. I mean, my brother, I think he motivates me a lot. He honestly, he inspires me, he does all of that tabla stuff. So he really inspires me. But yeah, the box, it's currently in making, we buy all the items and we put all the boxes together. Mm-hmm. So we try to do, a little bit, like the company that I work with, we do that, ourselves to make it, more personalized. So.
Wonderful. That's absolutely amazing. And as I mentioned earlier, I'm definitely going to connect you with some groups that I'm associated with, as well as another Generation Z young lady like you. She's doing things for sending to families in Brazil. So a great connection to do that. Yeah. She's also, I think, she just turned 16. She was on my show a few weeks ago.
Wow.
So, do you think you're getting your entrepreneurship from your dad or your mom, or, where does this come from? Because I mean, I'm in business and I come from a family my dad's a doctor, and he always asked me, where did you decide to, get into business? Why didn't you continue as a pharmacist? And I don't know where I got the business skills from. What about yourself? Because I know your dad has his own company, so
I definitely think I got it from my parents, because both my parents, I think they work very hard for, me and my brother. And I think I definitely got that from them. And I think just in general, like, I think if it weren't for them to motivate me to, going into entrepreneurship or going into something new, I would have never been able to, do that, because I would have just been like, oh, I want to do this. I'm going to stick with this only. I'm not going to go to explore more things. But I think my brother, my mom, and my dad, I think all of them, they just, they've been a huge support system, and I was able to explore more things and get into entrepreneurship. Again, my parents, they got me into that entrepreneurship thing. So I was able to, learn more about it, take a few, courses about entrepreneurship, and, just explore more.
So, you're 14 and you're going to be entering a time in school. Even now with virtual learning, there's so much work and pressure and homework that you have to do, and probably even more learning that you have to do. For all the kids and young kids like yourself listening to this show, how do you balance doing your singing, having your own company, plus, maintaining good grades at school? How do you do that?
Well, sometimes it can get a little stressful, a little hard, like, oh, how am I going to do this? How am I going to, do this and this? And, I don't know what to do. How do I balance all this? But I think at the end of the day, it just comes down to, like, just targeting the specific things you want to do, and, prioritizing what's the most important to you, completing it, and just, just continuing on with your day, and just, being like, oh, if, someone out there has done it, I can also do it. So just, having like sort of a mindset that you will be able to do it. Don't just be like, just try to drown yourself in everything. Just,
And what's your vision for your company? I mean, where do you see, is it something you're just doing now and then you'll go to college, or you're going to continue it? What's your vision?
Well, currently, it's still progressing. Eventually I want to be able to, make it, international, be able to help people all over the world. Currently, I don't know if it's, I don't know if it's going to spread that much, but that's my ultimate goal, to be able to help people everywhere, not only just through the box that I'm creating, but just be able to, like, leave an impact on the world, just know that, I, since I'm here, like, I want to do something meaningful, something that, help people.
So you mentioned that I know you have some family friends who've got children with special needs and stuff. I think I'm aware of who you're speaking to. So without taking any names on air, you talked about a physical, special need. What is one particular item that you have put in your box that you feel has really been impactful for these children?
So I don't know if I'd be able to pick just one item.
Okay.
There's a few. In my box, I think this is a pretty common toy, but I think it's very effective. It's called a Fidget Cube. I'm not sure if you've heard of it, but it's
Like a Rubik Cube?
I mean, it's in a cube shape. It's not really in a
Okay.
cube shape. It has, around the cube, there's many different little fidgets. Like there's like a light switch you can turn on and off. There's like a
Okay.
little knob moving it. There's like a little slider you can move it. So I think that's one of the, one of the physical aspects of the box where, you're able to move it. You're able to feel different things around it. If you're not able to comprehend, you can just feel around it. Another really helpful thing I think that's in my box is, it's like a plushie. It's like a really, really soft pillow that, goes inside the box. And again, this is all about the feel, like the smooth, the touch. My family friend, I know she really likes, feeling things, feeling around things, feeling like the texture of things, bumpy things, smooth things. So I think that's also a really helpful item in there. And then one final item that I think is a really great item. It's, for, like visual also and physical. There's this light and it has, different gaps in it, holes of like stars and holes of circles. So it's really nice to feel around on that. And there's like lights shooting up onto the sky, it projects onto your ceiling. And that's also a good thing for, whether you have visual impairments, because it's a really
So I
bright
guess
light.
these things are made by other companies that you have put together and found them and said, oh, I think this is going to be good. And how did you figure out that, for example, how did you figure out that these would be, I mean, you're not trained as special needs. How did you figure out that I think this is going to be good for someone with special needs? How?
So, while I was in the creating phase of the box, I was able to talk around, to the parents in my friend circle and, more than one family. And I was able to talk around with them and, what fits their child the best, what is the best for them, what are their favorite toys. And I was able to sort of replicate what toys that their children had, put that in the box. And, I was able to get input from an actual family that had experience.
Okay.
That way it wasn't like I was just, using my no experience at all to create a box. So I was able to get experience. I was able to talk to families and parents outside and talk to them about their kids and, what they like playing with. And obviously I did a lot of research and, I wanted to make sure that my box wasn't super expensive, because I know that subscription boxes out there can be very expensive and, way too expensive for parents to buy sometimes and unreasonably expensive. So I wanted to make it, a cheap way to get like really great quality toys and get the right toys that parents do need.
So Sunil, I'm curious to know, you have a son who plays tabla and does programming. You have a daughter that sings, has her own company, and is a TEDx speaker. I mean, wow, what can I tell you? What do you think you've done differently, you and your wife? What do you think you've done differently to have children, both the kids? I assume you have two, right?
Yeah.
Do you have another sibling?
No.
Are you sure you're not hiding another sibling somewhere that I need to bring on the show? So what do you think you've done differently to have encouraged and inspired your children to do this?
I think we didn't do anything different, actually. We just did what our parents did. So from my family side, right, I've got a brother and a sister. So we are a very small family, close-knit nuclear family. We all grew up together in a very moderate space, and my dad worked really hard to get to a level where he's today. I think one thing what we learned over the year was, and you must have heard it many times, which is like just work hard, be honest, all this thing. That is like table stake. But I think one thing what we did differently, and this is what I keep telling Samvi also, that for us coming to this country is a new learning. Now, when you have entered a high school or when you're entering a middle school, the kids are very mature. So for me also, I'm learning the system along with you. So if you can help me learn your system, I will be able to help you with my learning system, because what we bring is a core value system and a core culture. And what the education system here brings is the confidence and the openness.
Right.
And it's a perfect marriage of both.
Right.
we've been very fortunate to have a lot of great friends. I have a very close family, my brother, and he lives across the street, so that helps. We've got great neighbors, and we've got a very good support system in terms of the community, and we have a very close-knit community around. And so that has helped not only grow up in a culture of, confidence. And I mean, technically, the kids are just living the life what an Indian family would live in India, right? Where everyone is looking out for each other, everyone is just helping out each other, and that's how it is. So we haven't done anything different. It's just that we just followed certain basic rules. And one thing what we did for sure is we never enforced anything on them. We just let them, do what they liked. It. We definitely pushed few things at the beginning because we had a conviction that this is the right thing for us. But once we had a conviction, right, we did not push too many things, and that's where it is.
So you don't force it on the kids; they kind of find their own path in it.
When they were 5 years old, yes, it was forced because we knew that is the right thing for them. But I think once they understood it, then I think it was rest is history.
So Samvi, I think this would be a great time for us to listen to your beautiful voice. So do you have something for us?
Yes, I do. So actually, my dad told me that, you're a huge Bollywood fanatic. And,
How do you know that? Well, I do like some Bollywood. I love Punjabi music. I love Bollywood and I love movies. Yeah. So what do you have planned for me? That's wonderful.
I'm going to be singing Aao Huzur Tumko.
Oh,
yeah.
Very nice.
Yep. Yeah. So just let me know if you're able to hear the audio, like the karaoke in the background correctly.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So just let me know if you're able to hear it correctly.
Is it playing?
Yes. Just give me a second.
Okay.
Able to hear it?
Samvi, volume up a little bit more.
Maybe put the volume up a little bit. Yeah.
Thoda aur upar kar.
Hold it closer to is a mic. Can you hold it near the mic or something so we can hear it? Or is it?
Samvi, thodi nahi volume upar karo.
Yeah, we can't hear it, the music. Are you playing it on the same computer as you're speaking on?
No, it's playing on an outside speaker. Maybe I can get it closer to the laptop.
Yeah, maybe put that speaker closer. Yeah.
Okay, let me know if you can hear it now.
Barely, not really. Can you sing without it?
Samvi, can you just volume up your phone?
Yeah, sure. I can try doing that.
Okay, yeah, try that.
Yeah.
No, on the speaker, volume up your phone.
Yeah, it's not working.
Okay, just sing without it. I'm sure your voice is just as beautiful.
Okay, yeah, sure, I can sing.
Maybe you can hear it in the back, but we won't have to hear it, but we'll hear your voice.
Yeah, yes. Do that way.
Okay, just give me 1 second. Okay. Sorry, just give me 1 second.
So a really quick reminder as Samvi is getting it ready for those who are tuned in. This is Born to Shine. We're here every Wednesday nights at 7:30 on Radio Zindagi. And this is where we spotlight all this, the young blood. I call it the young blood. And of course, Samvi calls herself Generation Z, ages 5 to 25, bringing on all these amazing things for us. You ready? Let's go.
I'm ready. Okay, so I'll be singing without the music. Unfortunately, the music's not working.
No worries.
आओ हुजूर तुमको सितारों चलो दिल झूम जाए ऐसी बहार आओ हुजूर तुमको सितारों में चलो दिल झूम जाए ऐसी बहार आओ हुजूर हमरा हमदर्द बनो तय होगा दिल
We're losing the audio. I think we've lost your audio. Yeah, we've lost your audio. But whatever I heard, let me tell you, it was very beautiful. And I think if you, are you on YouTube anyway that we can hear you?
Yeah, I actually have a YouTube channel.
Tell us really quickly so I can have all the listeners go on there because we have 30 seconds left.
Yeah, it's just called Samvi Ranka.
Wonderful. So Samvi, I have literally 30 seconds left. I know we didn't hear you completely, but I'm definitely going to go to YouTube because that's one of my favorite songs. Your dad is absolutely right. It's been such a pleasure having you on the show. And of course, you too, Sunil. I wish you the best of luck with your business, your singing, your speaking. And, I hope one day when I'm very, very old, I'll be pointing to you and you're standing somewhere famous and say, I remember I interviewed you when you were 14 years old. So thank you so much. Good luck and stay in touch with us and, keep inspiring everybody. And thank you.
Thank you so much for having me.
No, thank you so much. And yes, for those who tuned in, this is Born to Shine. We'll be back next week. And this was Samvi Ranka, amazing talent. So definitely go to her YouTube page, Samvi Ranka, and you'll be able to listen to this amazing song as well. Thank you so much. Back to you, Radio Zindagi.